Good evening, friends. This is Stosh. It's Thursday night, April the 30th, on the eve. Soon will be coming May 1st, the high holiday of the Illuminist, the Illuminati, which you might expect I am one of their key black operatives, working in deep, deep cover, I guess. So what's up? Tonight I am unprepared, but I decided to talk about reality as a simulacrum. Why not? Is it an Elon Musk hologram? A simulation? We'll start off by going the easy route. Let's go to the movies. Vanilla Sky. Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz. I like when Tom Cruise, the protagonist guy, is like, tech support. I guess it's kind of a Scientology riff. But it does an excellent job of giving the idea there that reality is a simulation. I guess the most popular manifestation of this idea is Elon Musk. And other scientists have said this. I don't know how much it conflicts with the Newtonian idea, with the Cartesian, with the Descartes, I think, therefore I am, or the Newtons at the mercy of gravity. But I think as they figure out more about quantum physics and computers get more and more powerful, it's an interesting thing. Google's quantum computer. They have an absolutely massive one that looks like some sort of upside down clock or something. Fantastic. And there's been a lot of speculation that the Chinese have even better ones, and what's going to happen. I'm seeing this. I find that as they're talking more about efficiency and the wonders of the internet and online stuff, it just seems like real life, hard, cold reality, the quality of a lot of stuff is getting worse. I don't know what you think. Even before the coronavirus crisis, the restaurants and places and stores seem to be getting shittier and shittier in this hard Newtonian materialistic real world. And there's, the kind of stuff that I gab about on this channel. I guess you'd go more to the David Icke. There is no reality. Reality is a hologram. I forget the author's name, but there's that book that's old school, not on Kindle out there, and I don't know if it's on PDF. I wouldn't advocate looking for free PDFs and avoiding authors' royalties and the whole question of content ownership, but Holographic Universe is an excellent one. So a lot of people put him down. I think David Icke is fascinating. His books are well worth all reading. That doesn't mean that he's not an entertainer. He was a football man. I would love to meet him, love to talk to him. I have no idea if he's an MI6 or MI5 operative. That's a discussion for another time. I'm going to do a rap on Icke and Jones. The reality or not behind their work. Are they completely bullshit? Don't forget, John Ronson traveled with David Jones. Alex Jones to the Bohemian Grove. There's a lot made of that Bohemian Grove. They interviewed this guy, and he's like, Satan's building his army. And the Grove, my God, they're worshiping the owl and shit like that, yeah. But that's another topic, Ronson is also an author and entertainer, and he very much goes into detail about Jones and his followers and different people like that. And he does a lot to actually put it down, which is strange to be there with him. Then Under Fire, Jones himself in court has said he's nothing but an entertainer, and that I think he's admitted to being a nutball. Nevertheless, it's a free country in theory, and that I don't know. Should people be not subjected to such things, and should they be completely censored, and any such thing is very harmful, or should citizens of society, expect to read some books, read the news, even though they're busy, and discern crap from reality? Who's the bone broth? Which guy is the bone broth guy? I got off topic. I was trying to talk about simulated universes and Elon Musk and stuff like that. The 13th Floor. The 13th Floor is another movie, if you just want to go to movies, because sometimes you see these YouTubes and the guy's gabbing, and I realize mine is one of the worst. Oh, yeah. AJ. Of course, if I'm doing a vlog like this and I'm poo-pooing him, that means I'm fucking sour grapes, right? I see. I agree. I wish I had a lot of supplements to sell. That being said, I would love to go on the Alex Jones show, and he could debunk my small talk of him, but that question must be addressed. He goes to the Grove with Jon Ronson, and he's on a bus or something, right? And he's with his girlfriend or wife, or whatever, and they go in there. So I think it's billed as that they snuck into a all forbidden, incredible ceremony, and this is just part of life. There is religious freedom in the United States, and a lot of the rich people are pagan, and they go to these bullshit things that are kind of throwbacks to their college days. Yeah, 13th floor connection to the Matrix. Probably. Except that woman sued the Matrix guys, the Wachowski brothers, and I think she won, right? I don't know. 13th floor. You remember walking out of the theater and people like, wow. They were like, shit. Remember? Like it was wild. It's like, because that was part of the bit, right? When he altered dimensions, it was like, and people were like, wow, when they went out the door. I look fucking weirder than even usual tonight. Shit. Maybe should my gig. I should just fucking get weirder hair. Come on here. I don't know. But you're wondering why I usually wear a hat? I look like shit. Oh. Yeah. In some certain aspects, the 13th floor was a little sharper than the Matrix. I don't know. Vanilla Sky was good, actually. Remove your negative engrams. Scientology, based on sort of a polygraph machine, measuring the galvanic skin responses, is seen as the ultimate demon and cult. No doubt. And yet, it's probably not much worse than working at any standard corporation, right? Good to see you, LC. What did the guy the governor of Las Vegas has determined more lockdown or some shit like that, right? On the Scientologists. Fascinating shit. Very fascinating. You would think that a lot of these type of things would decrease in the era of the internet, but I don't know. I wonder if cults are getting worse. They have websites. They tell them just look at our website or something, or people don't have time to look into shit, and they fall for stuff. How about this idea of the multiverses? I like this stuff. And also, I keep talking about guys like Icke because I do confess that I think a lot of this talk of there's no reality and the quantum this and quantum that and quantum physics has proved there's still as Einstein says this materialistic world is a very persistent hologram, and a lot of that stuff is escapism, which I devour as well, and which we all do. Oh yes, when you get up there. What did you do with your life? I'm an expert in Scientology. I know. Well, it's funny. Actually, I think a lot of these people who are these charismatic readers, they're that's one aspect. They are incredibly well read. I mean, if you look at Albert Pike, Morals and Dogma, the Freemason guy, and it's this huge tome, and he obviously has read more and knows more than a lot of the guys. So he's in, I suppose, in charge of the secrets, if you will, 33rd degree, and every guy wants to be in it to win it, and he just knows a lot more, probably languages and stuff. And so that's how you get over on someone. Basically, that's one of the reasons why people fall for so much bullshit is they just don't read anything. They don't read anything, and their parents were left or the right, and they just go that way. And so cats like Albert Pike can do that. There's also another weird thing. There's also another weird thing. A lot of these charismatic people aren't really that type of personality. They're just hard people. And the guy will like, hey guru, hey martial arts master, hey officer in the military, hey leader, hey football captain, and the person will be just a harder person. They're the kind of person that they don't lose any sleep over shit, and they can put one over on cats because they're hard people. So I'm worried, Johnny, Captain Johnny of the swim team or the fucking whatever thing. And that's very popular too. They're just hard people. They don't lose any sleep. They don't question themselves. And that's another type of person that people want to be around. Adbusters and Fortran Times. Yeah. 14 times is excellent. Adbusters used to be in the checkout thing, right? Adbusters are bust. They're all okay. Disinfo was interesting. A lot of people only go so far. They put all their eggs in one basket. They're like, just everything George Carlin said, I agree with that. Everything Bill Hicks said, I agree with that. And they are excellent guys, and they're extremely funny and very, very talented. They're also, George Carlin was amazing, but he also was a fucking bitter guy. A hardcore fucking bitter atheist guy. And so I like him, and he had a lot of good messages for the gente. And so did Bill Hicks. They were. I mean, I like Doug Stanhope and I like Bill Burr a lot too. But they're breaking down. I mean, as much as I mean, Bill Burr kicks ass. But they only let him go so far. You know, I've seen him on like late night shows, and he wants to bitch about bankers and stuff, and they kind of stop him. You know, he kind of stops himself when the thing stops. You know, did I lose stream? I just said something totally profound. Did you see the screen? Did you see the screen just freeze? Jeez, it was one of David Icke's guys. Those guys are incredible. How would I even poo-poo them? I don't know. My own ego or something. Could I do better than them? No way. In preparing and non-preparing for this simulation thing, I noticed to look up a part of the thing I was reading that IQ is going down. IQ is in the simulation. What if the simulation is like the Idiocracy with Wilson's brother? Was he Owen or was he... Which brother? Just put that out there. No one else in live chat tonight with the Stash Man. Thank God LVC is here. Is it like 9 o'clock over there? No, 8 o'clock? I don't know. Las Vegas. Satanic Disney World. How do the implants not melt in Las Vegas? I wouldn't last one fucking night over there. Have you seen this one guy? He's like, if you go to Vegas, make sure you dress good and gamble. Don't be a pussy. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews. I've never been there. I heard that or is that LA that smells like continual urine? I don't know. I would imagine I would prefer the UFO kind of off the beaten path things. I don't know. I enjoyed the Resident Evil 3 when they fight in Las Vegas. But obviously the Hunter S. Thompson, Johnny Depp Vegas one was incredible. I thought Johnny Depp didn't do a good Hunter S. Thompson until I've seen more live footage of Hunter with like the Hells Angels, and he does pretty perfectly. I too do not go anywhere without the aid of my attorney. It's weird that I'm on here without my attorneys. My attorneys from Liechtenstein. They certainly advise against this vlogging, which I think mine are only a few people only watch when I'm talking about Aleister Crowley. Because some reason he connects to some pop culture shit. It's amazing. And this thing, you figure people would go on the YouTube to hear some guy gabbing, that the guy would say something of originality. But these fucking vlog things are only reflections of other pop culture crap. So the vlog, people won't watch the vlog unless the guy's talking about movies and popular people. I am slightly irritated by that. I have an appreciation for the book review ones. I know people have done these podcasts and this and that, and they, the ones who get thousands and thousands of viewers, they're fucking talking about Hollywood movies, which is sad. It did. We were jammed. No, David Icke fans who go across this thing, I have a lot of lizard YouTubes that I've made are fantastic about the shape-shifting reptilians. Don't say I'm not a fan, but yet, who's he working for? I haven't seen it personally, but I have friends who've personally seen Bush shapeshift. Could it be any doubt that the book Children of the Matrix was as popular as any punk rock band, as any underground rock band? In fact, that was a hit of underground. Hit. And it's a fantastic read, but let's face it, the guy had balls, and he wrote about they live in real time. Yeah, people only want to chat about famous people. Or half of America and the UK and Europe are broke and they are lonely and they have vlogs of bikini people, bikini woman ASMR. Who can blame? Yeah, I did some out and out experiments with clickbait stuff, and it was fun, to see people checking stuff out. But I found that only the most basis stuff people like. So it's like end of the world or asteroids or scientists with cryptozoology stuff. All awesome stuff, but very, very, yeah. Yeah. People only like crap. It's incredible. Oh yeah. Um, the mud flood and tantra. Is it the mud fossil universe guy? He's interesting. One of the top ones. I don't know. Do I think it's real? I don't know. I'm not going to say. I would love to be on with Las Vegas carnivore and mud fossil guy. Let's fight it out with them. Ask the tough questions. Neither one of us should be subjected to releasing our psychiatric records. 80,000. I like that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, if you look at some of them, I have some older ones that are like that. I can't remember what I did them on. I think. Yeah. Oh no, like biblical things or something. Which I think is there any? I guess is there one that some people enjoyed that I did? I don't know why. I don't know why. He was raised by the Tartars. The Nephilim technology. Pre-Eden. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are into that, very biblical, and then there's a whole other thing which was like the ancient aliens thing, right? The ancient aliens. Eric von Dworkin. Like Plato. The Atlantic Ocean is Atlantis. There's an Atlantis somewhere. Mud flood. Yeah. I went off the simulated reality thing pretty bad. However, the things that me and Conover are rapping about tonight, that's a universe itself. In fact, each person's YouTube channel is like a little frame of a little universe thing. That's what makes them fun. I think that obviously, if you just talk aimlessly like I do, nobody's going to look at them. But so people have to stick to one hard. And that aspect, I think any of these YouTubes or blogs or vlogs or things like that are very narrow. They have to be very narrow. Otherwise, no, I understand that. Otherwise, nobody will tune in. And of course, some of the best ones are authors themselves who stick to it and they have books and then they do interviews on it. But some of the funnest ones are literally sometimes people who go off and share their own stuff, and those are the ones that where they go off and they lose their temper and this and that just get booted, right? With the mud fossil guy. The only thing I don't like about that is if you have a hard question for somebody like that, and then they get pissed. The free energy, the Nephilim. The message was retracted. Shit. Anybody else on tonight? I'm noticing that lately people look at my things for 27 seconds and they get pissed. I understand. How did I get onto the simulated reality? Yeah, the next thing I want to do is about the coincidence and synchronicity and stuff. That's heavy. And that's some people say that's what this magic with a K is, that the person is attempting to do a synchronicity. And the straight people, the vanilla interpretation is these coincidences happen naturally by mathematics, but that doesn't make any sense because the person experiencing that has to have meaning to them. I'm totally down with the Jungian version of it, and I can't stand the fucking NPR thing version. Sorry about the language tonight. We're in lockdown. This is a demonetized channel. I apologize. But the multiverses, the omniverses, it's like one extreme to the other. You have so-called acceptable sources like scientists like Dr. Michio Kaku, and he goes into this stuff. He says that the wormhole is there, and then he doesn't. Oh, yeah. Carnivore Rebel, I like that. And now more and more, if you've read up on a lot of stuff on science mixed with spirituality, there is recognized that the universe is observable. There's a guy on today talking about the tree thing that I've gone into many times. Everybody knows tree falls in the forest. It is not necessarily heard. It's that is the observer, the human entity with the faculty of hearing observes that tree in a certain way. And they say, the two-slit test, which is a lot of people will be talking about that if you go into this observable universe, that actual energy has reaction to it. And if Hawking said that it takes 40,000 light years even to reach the center of our relatively small galaxy, then he was saying, then these, if you're going to talk about alternate realities, of course, you got to go into the UFO thing, the others, and the entities. So Hawking went back and forth. I think he said it was unlikely because of the tremendous amount of time and distance it would take in light years just to get to the center of our crappy little galaxy. But then I think he contradicted himself. Well, yeah, they do exist, and if we connect to these entities, they could be benevolent, and it's a bad idea. And different guys say that. So what I get about this is all these guys who say this type of anomalous phenomena is bullshit, and it's not scientists, and there's no God, there's no devil, there's no Jesus, there's no ghost, there's no demons, all that stuff. Then they go and contradict themselves and go, it would be a bad idea to make contact with such entities, and it goes blah, blah, blah. It goes back and forth. But, so certain people have speculated that to do this type of travel, you'd have to have the ability to shift realities. Like, with like your imagination, man. Yeah, the protons fired lined up when observed. Yes. I am a plebeian, man. No problem. Devs on Hulu. I would love to fucking see that show, but I can't do another streaming content thing. It's like it's running. It's just I don't know. Maybe if they have it on another one. Is Hulu the less oligarchical streaming platform? The thing I don't like about all this stuff is nonfiction stuff is I can't watch them, and you get into it, it takes too long. But I will take that into consideration. Did you try the Philip K. Dick one with? I don't remember her name. She's a great actress. I don't know. She plays Rogue in the X-Men. That was damn good. That had a reality shifting thing. I guess we're definitely close to the point where these VR goggles are coming, and it's going to get more and more enticing. And I had recently read something, the narcissistic universe or something, the hedonistic universe or something, a good paper. I forget the author's name. That we're on the brink of this, all of life's pain will go away because we'll download into these things, and you'll be in the holodeck and the sleeper. Oh, but any book by Dr. Kaiku? Michio Kaiku? They're all phenomenal. I admit it. I met him one time. He's so smart. He's so smart that his eyes beam out with this energy. I'm like, Dr. Kaiku. I actually brought up a discussion with him about ki, which would be chi in Japanese, chi in Chinese, gi in Korean, prana in the Hindu practices. Dr. Kaiku didn't know shit about ki, and he's Japanese. Oh, the Illuminatus. I did one on that. I don't know. Did you catch that one? If you read a lot about all this stuff, you're not going to find anything mind-boggling about the shocking, dramatic parts of the Illuminatus trilogy. It's just what it is. It's funny. It's pretty funny. Pretty high-end funny. Very, very funny. If you're a complete socialist fucking commie. Robert Anton Wilson probably wouldn't like me. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm right wing or anything. I just feel like he would probably consider me a fucking regular, straight. I've loosened up a little bit. I used to be your straight Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, Robert Cray. Now I'm, I guess recently I've come to like New Order, Joy Division, stuff like that. Where am I going with that? Oh yeah, but definitely Robert Anton Wilson. You know what? You know what sucks is there's just those books were huge, and people like now there's so much stuff that nobody can connect. So there's just countless books and stuff to go over, and fiction, nonfiction, and. So when stuff like that he's before my time, long before my time, but it doesn't matter. I could tell. I mean, when books came like that was huge. It was like characters like Conan the Barbarian, or Robert Anton Wilson stuff. It's like the more stuff there is, there's just too much stuff. It's like back in the day, I could imagine people's minds were blown by Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes, and it was everybody's world. And there's those works are fantastic. You could argue that everything in the Western thing has come. The action genres and all that are totally Arthur Conan Doyle. Even the comic books and everything. The idea of Watson and Doyle. It's like huge. How incredibly static were you under the surveillance? Yeah, I mean, under the whole surveillance thing, they're going to be like, they're probably at some point they're going to be like, already people are weirded out if you don't look at football. They're like, you didn't watch the Super Bowl? I wonder if the surveillance thing thinking about you didn't go in the fucking holodeck. You didn't, sir. You're not in the pleasure dome. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you in the holodeck? I've been recently saying people are gonna crave the mundane and the boring because shit is already. I mean, as an artist, if I am as a low level actor, comic, and whatever I am, you can't but help but look at Netflix, Amazon Prime, yeah, Hulu. I mean, YouTube people even doing their own private stuff with the graphics. Like if they have a channel, I mean, they're not just coming on like an asshole like me. They themselves have these amazing things. Or it's not just the Marvel thing. It's just like it's thing after thing. Every idea is hashed and rehashed and done. It's like, what do you have to offer? A long time ago, this news reporter guy told me, he said, there's going to be 1,500, 15,000, whatever channels. And like nobody will be able to. You're going to be like, what's your favorite show? And like, I didn't really believe it. And now it's like here. So the only people, and this idea of fame or whatever is done because if you want to, you can work hard at it. If you want to have everybody see your phony name on here or whatever, and then you can do it. But the whole idea, to be known now, I mean, you have to be like a whale. I mean, who are the famous people left? The ultimate aphrodisiac. I don't know, Taylor Swift or something. Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Tom Brady, Colin Kaepernick, kinda. I don't know. Yeah, nothing new under the sun. Netflix. Have you seen this ad for the guy? He's a great actor. I don't know. Is it Chris Helmsworth or whatever? He's got talent. He's great. He's Thor, and he's this and he's that. He's funny. And they just released this thing, that he's the special operative guy. And I caught some of it. and he's diving in and he's meditating this. I'm like, thought, how many of these Navy SEAL meditative handsome guy ninja things can they have? And now, admittedly, I guess people really like the female ones better because you get the aesthetic of the feminine, and they can, they have fantastic weapons as well. And it's indistinguishable in the next. Yeah. Although I admit, I guess I liked. I mean, while I was watching it, I enjoyed the Avengers, and when I was looking at it, and then when I couldn't remember a damn thing about it 2 days after. Yeah, I mean, it's all like, obviously, I suppose it's an idea of the multicultural EU and the multicultural. This is not the United States anymore. I guess we're the North Atlantic sector or something. Diverse societies, and that's what I think the ultimate thing of the Avengers is, that these multi people societies come together, and it's a thinly veiled thing about going after Russia or China, right? Because they're homogenous societies, and the Avengers are groups of people, and they have strength, and or something like that. I don't know. It's an awesome military recruiting tool, like never seen before. The only thing that would be superior to it would be 24 with Keith or Sutherland. That the idea that you needed to use waterboarding to get the organization. What do you think about that, LC? The Avengers as the ultimate military recruiting thing. I don't know. Or is it just what it is? I enjoyed it. I can't completely remember it. All I remember now is I enjoy the thumb of Thanos. That being another simulacrum world. Philip K. Dick, one of his lesser known books, is The Simulacrum. The new indie feel thing scares the heck out of me. It's like, yeah, there used to be, love them or hate them, there's certain cliques in society that earn what they have. That I may hate a lot of them and they might hate me, but they earn it. Or they once earned that hipster badge. So if it was your crew, your gang, your artist clique that had something different in every city in the world, and they were seen as stuff that was square, right? There was ads with square, they weren't hip, and other things were the domain of the hip, the hip cats. And now they've researched it very heavily, and you're now seeing Starbucks, FedEx, name any huge company or movie thing, and they have achieved a very, very close simulacrum of the hip people. And it's no joke. The joke, they got the humor, the talk down, and it's sick. Like I put in the They Live glasses. They Live is an incredibly hip, cool movie, and there's another thing. It goes into the vortex, gets overly reproduced, and taken. Yeah, it definitely had a great theme. You put on the glasses and you really see. But again, probably what made it work was Roddy Piper was a long-time wrestler, and so it had that feel to it, that off-the-books thing. I forget that name. The black guy is incredible in that. He's with Vin Diesel in Riddick 2 or Riddick 1. It's 12:03 here Eastern Time. Where are the people? I'm vlogging. I wonder if you got to do this thing long enough so people fucking look on here. I guess, you know what? I guess after this thing, if they finally let people go around outside, there's a number of outcomes. One would be people just stay used to this and they just never meet in person and they vlog to vlog and camera to camera. Or there'll be at long last a backlash to this stuff and people will go out. That's another thing. If you go to a cafe or bar or something, you go out, you want to discuss some books, you want to discuss some philosophy, you want to discuss something with a little range, intellectual range, and I am by no means some sort of dangerous intellectual. People can't discuss it. They actually want to talk about shows that they stream, which can be very compelling, but holy shit. Can anybody discuss something that they read or something? And if they do read a book and you go on the subway, you go on the airplane, you go around, they are actually en masse reading the same book. Remember them over the years? The Into Thin Air. I think that was the mountain climbing one, right? Oh, Pearl Harbor, the soap opera movie. Oh my God. Talk about prophylactic defense against any kind of pain of war. You have to wait through a lot for anything worth watching. Apocalypse Now, based on Conrad's work, Joseph Conrad, is a fantastic film. It is not really real war. It's a psychedelic version of it. The philosopher who wrote Simulation and Simulacrum, Baldur, who I can't pronounce. I did another vlog on him. It's very, I guess, pretty much very. He's a commie, but his anti-capitalist writings are incredible. And he is definitely one of the authors that the Wachowski brothers, delved into heavily when they were writing or stealing The Matrix or whatever. He talks brilliantly about how Apocalypse Now was, he says, and probably more than likely true, constructed by Hollywood as a spectacle that would override the incredible pain of Vietnam. Because it was still the technology and the mind trippiness of that movie is even a match for and probably superior to anything they have now, because he was using bowling pin sounds and incredible music, and the spectacle of it is still probably can't even be beat now with the trippy music, and it's incredible. But anyway, his point was it did a lot to distract from the incredible pain of Nam. Apocalypse Now, Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter, I guess, probably wasn't probably really trying, it wasn't much avoiding the pain of Nam. I guess that went more into it. It wasn't as much of a spectacle in that way. It was just a Russian roulette horror show. I mean, people can act now. People are probably, in terms of raw training and the looks and the skills and so forth, they're probably better now, but they don't have anywhere near the depth of actors that appeared in those kind of films and films of the 70s. I mean, guys are already very skilled in other things now. People, I think, train now, and because of the high tech and stuff, they get good fast. I don't know if they're as well read as the actors of that time. It's just, it seems that way with everything now. There's so much high tech where people can train, and the music and stuff, and what they can do, with the technology, and their own websites and stuff. It just seems like if you got talent and a look and stuff, they can quickly really change you into something now. That's just my view. Those old school guys, they were in a class by themselves. Crap. Yeah. Yeah, some of them are incredible. I mean, there's some directors that get a lot of criticism that that it's a spectacle that's incredible, like Michael Bay or something. It's like these shoot 'em ups and all these things. I mean, it's cool. I actually enjoyed the Miami Vice remake. It was dreamy and stuff. But in the end, it's still, no matter how much flash. I've come to realize this recently. It's still the plot, still the writing, still the dialogue that really drives these things. Even Matrix, as wild as it was as a new thing back then, or any type of tech thing. Just and there's not that much dialogue in it, but what there is just really powerful, and hits a chord. It's still a story. Even a lot of people. This is an internet thing. A lot of people. I can't. There must be 10,000 YouTubes that discuss the ability of Bruce Lee and debate. They're wild. There's one. They get millions of hits. Right? Who would win, Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali? All questions that are impossible to answer, in my opinion. They have all these guys, the huge martial. Oh, I understand, and this and that. I think what I've come to realize recently, and this may be a stupid point, is what they leave out, or maybe some guys don't, is that he was a new thing, an incredible actor in his way. And that, when they were acting, each of those things is a line, front kick, side kick, blah, blah. And he just broke it down. So people, like, if you notice, they'll be like, well, he's an incredible master of the nunchucks, or the 3-section staff, or whatever, different styles. Of course, but if you break it down, it's like a line, and he does, like, it's these short movements that he came up with that are like acting lines. And the only reason why he was able to pick up, like, he's with the 3-section staff in one scene, right? And he takes out these 3 guys or whatever, and you look at it and you realize it's extreme, and actually some of them are movements of extreme simplicity, but only because he put in the dedication to both the body work and I guess I think he was in the circus and stuff like that before that, like Jackie Chan and so forth. But he was only able to do those movements, I realize, because thousands of them, and he breaks down like the 3. Check out that scene in Enter the Dragon. Now you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see, well, he's doing a nunchuck, so it's flying. No, he does a lot of his movements are these incredibly well done single movements with perfect timing and stuff. Could he have killed anyone and this and that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, look up Masoyama, the guy that used to chop bulls. Could he have defeated a guy like that? Was he so fast? Would he come and get him with the 1-inch punch, or flick his, vital point with so speed? I don't think that's humanly possible. Look up Masoyama. He was huge. People kill me for saying that. His hand his hand was probably equivalent to the chest of Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee did this, and they're like, was he MMA? All these questions are impossible. I love it. There's another yet dimension. There's a whole world created by Bruce Lee. He had created an entire universe. Nobody has any idea. Those type of discussions are impossible. This is so way off the simulacrum thing, but here's the world that Tarantino created with Once Upon a Time is like the alternate world for the Manson murders. That everything turned out all right, and Brad Pitt and DiCaprio defeated the Manson family, and it went okay, and Sharon Tate didn't get killed. That's a whole simulacrum they created. It's so weird that sort of things had been going very well with China, and then Tarantino did that scene, right? He did that scene, and people are outraged that Brad Pitt's a stuntman, and he's sort of even with Bruce, or he dodges Bruce, and kind of obviously the entire country of China was probably bullshit, but Tarantino's not backing down. Why? Then all of a sudden we have this Wuhan virus thing, and everybody now hates China. 2 years ago or last year, they before the trade deals, everybody loved China. In point of fact, Obama was getting into it with China, which is weird. Could some stuntman have fought Bruce Lee? Apparently, Bruce Lee did tangle with them or something like that. MMA has changed again. Yes, indeed. It's a very enjoyable blood sport. It seems like the popularity in the MMA, the focus is on women now. Bas Rutten is an awesome guy. Fascinating. I would argue, take this for what it's worth, the discussions about all that are ridiculous. Nobody could ever do this, and these guys, it's case in point. One of the top guys, some intruder came into the guy's house, some young skinny kid, and the guy had to fight the kid. Very highly skilled in all this MMA, and he's fighting him. Bruce Lee took start. That's an interesting point. Yeah, because his physique was amazing. I love the who killed Bruce Lee lore. Guys talk about this for hours. Was it the Chinese syndicate? Did he piss off the director? Was it like Chuck Norris said? Did he do steroids? Was he on drugs? Did he do too many movies? The rumors. And then the son is killed by the stunt gun. It's incredible. An example of people whose real life was as wild as their fictional characters, beyond a doubt. Is it blasphemy? Well, how about the idea that there's this thing, the traditional martial arts are awful, and this changing of the MMA, and it's just all, and guys, everybody who practices kung fu or any of these traditions, they just suck, and it's just MMA. I mean, Bruce Lee, to the best of my knowledge, was skilled in the Wang Chun and so forth. So it was very traditional, and then he invented da. So I don't know. Could it be that the Americans and the Westerners have broken them down to the simplest form, and then you do steroids and you get tattoos and you're huge, and all those other ones become meaningless? Or I think for a time it was just only the ones from Brazil. I don't know. I know. 12 hours a day is right. Except I guess they could in the theoretically do that kind of stuff. I like how everybody is like all that the Shaolin and the amazing stories about the Shaolin are fake. But the problem is there's none of them that are alive to talk to. So, it's like when you're in Times Square, right? And you meet the guy says, "I'm from Tibet. Give me $5. I give you this little card. You get the blessing." Then you talk to the guy a few minutes. You admit the guy's from Taiwan. He's fake. So people are like, no, there's nobody that can defeat these guys. I mean, it's impossible to say. I mean, are you going to try your Aikido on a guy like Mike Tyson? I don't know. It's like there's shades of it. It's political too. You ever meet? You'll find you go from city to city. Every city you go, when you meet the liberal guys, they'll always be into push hands and Tai Chi and Aikido. You use their anger against them, and they like that stuff. And then, the other guys like that. And boxing is political, and each country has a boxer, and there are commie boxers and regular boxers, and union guy. So and obviously it's very nationalistic. They represent their country. I contend it's impossible to determine. Even I just said Masayama, the giant guy who was Korean who moved to Korea. I just said Bruce Lee would be no match for him. He's a giant, but how the hell do I know? They never faced. It's impossible to say. Like it's like the Muhammad Ali, right? Ooh, one for review. I don't know why that had for review. Regular sword wielding English infinite of 1500s would be considered amazing. Yeah. Well, that stuff is always interesting. I did see that thing where they compared the Viking sword to the samurai sword. I would have thought that the samurai sword would have cut deeper, obviously because of Sonny Chiba and his ability to forge the sword, like in Kill Bill 2, 1, whatever. It looks like in the test that they did, which was, I think, through a bunch of bamboo reeds, which would usually be a samurai sword type of thing. The Viking sword was heavier and it dropped through and made a much deeper cut, at least in that documentary thing. Oh yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff like that. Have you even thought about, like, people consider, well, in the Victorian era, these guys were, what do they wear, like wigs, and they had these things. They almost dressed basically like women and this and that. But when you think about it, they were in the field more face to face. They did have firearms, but they did a lot more close quarters than they do today. I mean, they saw the faces of men straight up with the different rapiers and stuff. So you could say that even though they dressed in these ornate, weird outfits, they were face to face, mano a mano, up closer. And then at the same time, you're on horseback and how to coordinate. It was brutal. I mean, this modern warfare from now, to the best of my ability, there's not much hand-to-hand combat. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but I mean, you're there with the changes and the weaponry. It's more of a, you never see the enemy. They're miles away. The Black Adder. Remember the Blackadder, the Victorian guys? They were even more genteel. You ever see that movie Eat the Rich or something with Donald Sutherland and Gene Wilder, whatever? It's hilarious. These poor guys look like these rich guys, and the rich guys have these like swords, and they're like, oh look, the poor, and they're like, the rich guys are so mean and really good with the swords. They're like killing all the poor. Eat the Rich. I think Lemmy's in that. Lemmy. Oh, look, the poor. And then the dumb poor guys, they switch with them, and people are frightened of them. They're twins. The twins are suckers, and it's like the French Revolution. But it's like they were genteel and everything, but shit. You know, it's like the Southern guys, you know, and the Civil War and everything. You know, they had that. They were genteel or whatever, but you were riding on horseback at the other guy. Shit, man. Bruce Lee. Remember after he died and they had like Bruce Lee? It was like they couldn't get enough. It was like when Peter Sellers died. They couldn't stop. Like, let's try again. Let's try another one. Get a body double. See what you get the old foot. It was the same thing with Bruce Lee. They couldn't believe it. Like, I think the last one, Game of Death. You can see the ability of Lee with his incredible physicality, because when they try to put any other guy in there to be him, it just gets fucked up. It wasn't until years later with Jet Li. Jet Li can hang, and he can do a lot of the stuff. No doubt about it. I don't know that one. I know. It's incredible. They had wigs and everything. But they kicked ass. Eye to eye. Black Death. No, is that a kung fu movie? I'm surprised. I've seen them all. At one time or the other. The Five Venoms. Still one of the best is the female lead in Come Drink With Me or whatever. You know, at least dramatically speaking, that scene, you know. There's another irony of the thing. People like, there's only MMA and whatever, and all those guys and all those movies are fake. I mean, there's no question. I don't know if you've tried those things, the broadsword, staff, long, different thing. I mean, those guys are strong. You know, the Silverbeards and all that. They're actors. People make fun of them all the time with the dubbed things or whatever, and they say there's no way that these guys are actors. Not real. I mean, they are strong. Whether or not they hoist them on, you know, rods or whatever, or how we were. I mean, they're just strong. The Black Death. The Roman Catholic Church joined the play. I know. Oh yeah, it's incredible. I mean, when you go hiking with people from countries just where the food isn't GMO, you know, the Americans, they go to gyms and they get these amazing muscles, and like bubbly muscles, big chest and huge arms and stuff. It's nothing compared to people who just hike and stuff. I mean, I doubt there's all these special operations guys and they do these sophisticated operations. I doubt they'd really care to admit that a Afghan Bedouin old man can probably completely out hike them, but that would be forbidden as well. There's just no comparison. I mean, you know, you get very aesthetically a certain look that the West has. You know, there's no doubt, and you're strong. I mean, if you don't do those machines, if you don't do it, then obviously, you know, the person would be super strong, and you're doing a lot of lifting and stuff, but there's just no comparison to the natural way, which is getting more and more lost. Shit, almost 12:30 Eastern time. Carnivore, we got to do our thing, man. I don't even know how to do that. What do you do? Skype and upload it? I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Double live chat, this and that. Isn't it funny when guys want to talk on those things and you go, oh my God, author so-and-so is talking to author so-and-so, and I really want to see this thing. The first half an hour is the author guy and the other author guy, and they're like, can you hear me? Are you on? And they'll have the little square thing, and like, it's funny. It's like you can't wait, and you're trying to run through, and like, oh my God, they're going to discuss, and they always do a tremendous job, but it's like, shit, can you hear me? Are you on? And they're, I guess it's getting better. I don't know. It's funny as hell. You know what pisses off me? If I thought you read the guy's book, and then they go on the thing and they do a fucking 4-hour interview. And you're like, hey, I bought your book. You just went on for 400 minutes on YouTube or Vino or whatever these things are, and you talked about it. No, there's nothing like reading it though. But God, sometimes I guess they have to. Otherwise, just people won't care. This has been my longest vlog. I hope somebody digs this. I hate that. You know what? Carnivore dude, that you're talking about Luminatus trilogy. That it's just there's not. When a bunch of cats read a book like that and you could discuss it at a cafe or something, there's nothing like that. That's what pisses me off about. That is one thing that pisses me off about now. It's just not as special, and you don't look forward to it. And you don't get down. That was the thing of New England. That's what it was like to be a dude. You'd have your college textbooks, but then you'd have a copy of Illuminatus trilogy, or you'd have a Tolkien or whatever in your backpack, and you get on the New York subway, or in Boston, it's the T, the MBTA, and you'd be there. And that was the thing, man. You would read the shit out of that book and talk about it. Yeah, the real paranoia is overtaken. Well, tomorrow night's Friday night, dude. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe we can get back on again. Sorry, this simulation topic, I didn't have it down too much, but I just wanted to wrap. I want to do a whole thing without sharing any private information. Just discuss synchronicities and stuff. Yeah, shoot me a link. I'm interested in that. Delve into the Akashic field. Because the only thing that'll save us from this mess is the combining with the group mind. Reaching out like we are doing, my friend. Yeah. Yep, shoot me a link. All right, so I'm going to upload this one and see if anybody likes this. Dude, great talking to you. Anybody who decided to come across this tonight, I hope you got anything, got some good book recommendations. I didn't say Bruce Lee isn't the best or MMA isn't, man. And any guys listening, I'm just saying. I put forth, it's impossible. Cheers, brother. I'm saying, is it possible that Count Dante out of Chicago could have beat anybody? All right. Yeah, cheers, brother. See you tomorrow night. Give me a shout. All right, peace. God bless everybody. Take care, guys.